So hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and I hope it's less grey where you are. London is extremely grey right now and it's killing my energy, it's killing me. Today I am so happy to finally be coming to you with a video that I've been wanting to do for quite a while because of how much my life, as you guys have seen, has been a bit of a mess. It has come with a lot of self-reflection on where things are going right and where things are going wrong. And today I wanted to share with you my 5 mistakes or 5 biggest lessons that I've learned since being self-employed. If you are new to my channel, you might not know this, but I am actually 22 years old, and since I graduated from uni a year and 8 months ago, I have been self-employed. I have been the director of my own company, which is called CD Beauty Co. It is a wig making company. I have also been freelance, content creating, and doing a whole bunch of other stuff as well. It seems like I can't really put it all into like one succinct title, which is fine. I kind of feel like a jack of all trades. I've been doing quite a bit, and it has come with a lot of interesting exposure of myself and my character and my strengths and my weaknesses. And I thought, you know what, I've got about 20 months of experience or knowledge or just some lessons that I've learned. Why not save somebody about 20 months worth of struggle by sharing what it is, or the top 5 things that I have learned in that time. So without further ado, let us get into it because this intro is really long. So number 1 is, just because you don't have a 9 to 5 doesn't mean you haven't got a job and doesn't mean you haven't got a schedule. Now, I've found this a lot with friends that I have that are going self-employed, becoming their own directors of their company. They often refer to themselves, or especially at the beginning of the journey, they refer to themselves as unemployed. And that was my biggest thing when I was in 3rd year of university, and I was saying, you know, everyone was asking me, how are you going to, or what are you going to do after university? My first go-to was like, I feel like I'm about to be unemployed. And there's a big difference between unemployment and self-employment. And sometimes when you're starting off the journey, kind of using those words to characterize your experience or characterize the future of what it is you're going to do, you start to treat it with that kind of attitude, and you forget that just same way you would get up and get to work on time and make sure that you are reaching your goals in a specific amount of time and you're being productive when you're working for somebody else, is the same, if not more, like dedication and discipline and routine and schedule that you need to apply to what it is you are doing for yourself. And in the beginning, I was definitely more like, I'll wake up whenever I want, I'll go to sleep whenever I want. And sometimes you get those bursts of grinding where you're like, I'll wake up at like 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. in the morning, and I'll go to sleep at like 1 a.m. the next day because I'm an entrepreneur, this is the hustle, and then you burn out. You crash and you need to sleep for like 20 days, and that was literally me. And then I'll have other times where I'm like, I'm tired, I'm burnt out, I can't keep doing this, I feel very alone, I feel kind of unsupported, or I feel like I'm not reaching the goals that I want to reach, or I feel like I'm not performing really well. And you get so down on yourself because you are your only team, where other people could kind of pick up the slack. Everything is on you and you get burnt out. And so really realizing that if you pace yourself well, stick to a schedule that is manageable and good for you, figure out how long you need to sleep, that's a healthy amount for you, but don't overindulge in sleep. Figure out what time you need to get to work, and if your workplace is, you know, 2 steps away from your bed at your desk, then make those 2 steps and get to your desk on time. Or if you're working out of your bed, go and invest in a desk so that you don't fall asleep and nap every 2 hours. Really dignify your vision and dignify your plan, your business plan, whatever you're kind of embarking on, by giving it the routine, the dedication, and the professionalism that it needs, especially as an entrepreneur, a director, a CEO, a COO, whatever you are, a co-founder or a sole trader. Just do it with as much professionalism as you would want from your future employees. Start in the way that you would want to go. 2, focus on building 1 or 2 or 3 strong ventures and not just doing a whole bunch of stuff really sporadically and not really to the best of your ability so that you can make money. And what I mean by this is, when you're self-employed, especially when you just jump straight into self-employment and you don't have savings, your biggest rush is, okay, I need to make money. I have bills to pay, I have things I need to buy, I have things that I need to invest into my business, or I have a certain amount of money that I need to invest into my business. It needs to start making a return, or I'm gonna be broke and hungry. And because of that, you start doing bits and bobs here and there that mean that, okay, you're exchanging the time that you have now for some money so that you can pay those bills, you can pay for whatever fees that you need to pay for, or you can just invest in your business. But sometimes you can get so caught up in those little things that you forget the grand vision of what it is you're trying to do. And because of that, you end up not building some really strong ventures. And when I say, I'm like, if you're trying to pursue your startup company, for example, but you need money, and so you start tutoring, and then you get more tutoring opportunities, and so you start taking more money from that, and then you have some, you know, sponsorship content, and you have loads of different things you can do that are bringing in money here and there. But because you're exchanging your time for money in those areas, you're forgetting about your startup company and the research that you need to be doing, and the time, the hours that you need to spend sitting down, investing and growing what will eventually be your main hustle. And so don't get so caught up with the side hustles and the different streams of income that you forget to focus on the main thing, which is whatever you've become self-employed in, or whatever you're directing, or whatever your company actually is. Focus. And I think in the beginning of my journey, I definitely lacked focus in some areas, because I was so like, oh, well, I need to do this so that I can make £100. I need to do this so I can make £50. But really and truly, your multi-million-pound idea, if that's what it is, also needs as much attention and needs as much nurturing. So I'm not saying don't do side hustles, because everybody needs a little bit of change. But definitely balance things well so that you're actually working on your dream and working on this venture as much as you are doing other things to supplement your income. And then when you are making enough income from your main hustle, pour all of your time as an investment into your main business idea, or whatever it is, so that it can grow and you can be as dedicated to it as you need to be. Number 3, which pretty much links to the last bit, is focus, focus, focus. Sometimes it can get really discouraging when you're self-employed. It's like everything you planned on doing, or everything you thought that self-employment would be, it is not. And you realize that, oh, okay, well, I'm struggling. But don't get discouraged. Those are all parts of the struggle. Those are all a part of what's gonna build you as an entrepreneur. So focus and constantly revise your plan so that you're working on something that will actually work. Number 4, continue to invest and enrich yourself. A lot of times well, for me, I jumped out of university and I was like, forget reading books, forget having to, you know, educate myself. I am out of formal education, and now it's the true and the real hustle. And I forgot that you're not a hustler, Courtney. Like, you're not. And this is something that I've had to really confront and develop out of myself. I'm so used to having a side hustle and a main hustle, and whilst at uni or whilst at school, that I forgot this company is my main thing, and it's something I'm trying to build, not just to make money. It's something I'm trying to build to last. It's something that I'm trying to build so that I can be competitive in an industry. It's something that I am building. It's not just something that's a get rich quick scheme, or it's not just something so I can put a little bit of change in my pocket and till I need more money. That's not what this is. This is my main focus. The same way people invest years and years and years into working a career, I'm about to invest years and years and years into building an empire. So the truth of the matter is, I need to continue to learn, because everything that I need for the next decade, I don't have in my mind as a 21, 22-year-old young woman who hasn't been exposed to entrepreneurship, who hasn't been exposed to startup culture and being around millionaires, or being around whoever is in my industry, or I'm not used to being around CEOs and people who sit on boards. But all of that knowledge is actually available in books, in podcasts, in talking to people, in sending an email to somebody that says, listen, I'm having a problem, I don't know this. It's available on YouTube. There's so much information out there and knowledge out there that you need to know, you need to begin to understand. And if you don't allow time to actually continue to educate yourself and enrich yourself and develop as a person, not just by developing your company, but becoming a better boss, becoming a better CEO, becoming a better leader, becoming a better strategist and innovator, if you're not spending time investing in developing those parts of yourself, you're gonna just be in a hamster wheel that you're calling your business, but it just becomes another job. So that was one of the biggest lessons. Continue to read, continue to expand your mind, expand yourself to the possibilities of the further possibilities of what your business could be, and how you can quickly develop the skills needed for it to become that. Because when you're self-employed, or you're the only person working in your company, or you're just starting out something, your business is only as strong as you are as a leader. And if your leadership skills are not strong, if your knowledge of your industry is not strong, and you don't have someone else who can supplement that, everything's not going to be fine and dandy. You need to develop yourself, and reading, listening to podcasts, going on YouTube, taking an online course, or just speaking to people and learning from them, getting a mentor, getting friends, getting accountability. That's really good. And last but not least, don't be so hard on yourself. You need to be patient. And this is something that, as someone who's less than 2 years into business, and I look at my life and I think, wow, like, instead of thinking, wow, Courtney, for the last 2 years or less than 2 years, you've been able to sustain yourself. Yes, your money has gone up and down. And yes, you may not be exactly where you thought you would be in 2 years, but you put yourself in a risky situation and it's actually paid off. And that's the thing that sometimes you forget. You go so hard on yourself because you're like, be better, do better, be better, do better. But you forget to realize that you've actually come from somewhere, and you started with nothing and you've made something. And even if it's like, listen, I have as much money right now as I had when I first started, you were able to sustain yourself in the bits in between. Take time to look back on where it is you're coming from and appreciate the journey that you've been on, and realize that this is a lifelong journey. Like I said, people invest 60 years plus into developing their career. They invest years and years and years into becoming a professional in something. Why do you think in 1 or 2 years you're going to be able to build an empire that will last decades or even centuries if you're thinking about generational wealth? Why are you rushing this thing? This thing is meant to last. Don't rush it. And yes, you have people that are like, that have those unicorn stories where it's like, after 2 years we were worth $20 million, and it's like, yeah, I can do that too. That's rare. I want you to know that that's rare. Some people have not become billionaires or millionaires or even 100,000aires till they're in their 60s. And so, no, I'm not saying that you can't carve out your own story, and I'm not saying that great things, amazing things can't happen in a short amount of time. But what I am saying is, be ambitious, but create realistic expectations that you can meet and you are willing to meet in the time that you're giving yourself. Because you can be worth $1 million by the end of next year, but are you ready to put in the work and the learning that is necessary for you to become worth $1 million at the end of the year? Or are you wanting to stay where you are and just hoping that those things will happen? The truth is, things happen at the pace you're willing to adapt. Am I ready to put in the work necessary to achieve the level of success that I want? Simple as that. So if you want to become a millionaire next year, put in a year's worth of millionaire work. That's pretty much what it is. But you're pretty much building something for a lifetime, and you can be kind to yourself during that journey. I've learned that as well, with the reminder of so many great friends. So I hope that this kind of helped you in some way. I hope that it actually made sense like this. So let me know down below if there's anything you would want me to kind of talk about or share. But yeah, I know all of you are killing it in whatever it is you are doing, and there's always room for improvement. So let's make that improvement together. But pretty much stay blessed and stay beautiful. I'll talk to you in my next video. Mwah.